It's been a fun morning already. I've been looking forward to this talk, breaking the trance. And what could that mean? Breaking the trance. I'm not in any trance. No, come on. Or do I have a constant dependency on my habit of thought? So maybe I am entranced with my own thinking. Then I'm not even aware of how much attention I pay to my own thinking. That I pay attention to my past, I pay attention to the future, and am I really present to that point? Seems like a very narrow point between past and future. It's kind of like a knife edge. I was driving here this morning and I was on the freeway and I looked over and here's this palm tree with the palm leaves going this way, but it had a little top hat. I went, and it was after the fact that the mind said, oh, that was really pretty cool. But in the moment before the mind stopped in, there was just the experience of the palm tree and the traffic and everything seamlessly moving. How fortunate it was that something caught that. And then the mind comes in to sort of validate, well, you saw that, and that was pretty cool, and it has a comment about everything. And that's part of what it's designed for. The design of the mind is to keep us safe, to help us. It's not our enemy. It's not to be beat up on. It's just trying to do its job. But can we break our trance of habitually thinking all the time and relying on just what the mind's commentary is? Now, in spiritual traditions, most of them, we have these big terms: oneness, enlightenment, union with God, knowing your true self. I can go on. And the mind goes, oh yes, I want some of that. That sounds like a really good idea. I want to be enlightened. Sign me up. And then we go searching for what we think that means. And we hear all of these stories of enlightenment and the masters and so on. And I've read those stories and I want that. Of course we want that. We want peace. We want endlessly sunny days. We want no more suffering. We want to be spiritual and just enjoy it all. Bliss, nirvana. Maybe we got it wrong. Maybe what the masters are talking about isn't what we think it's about. In fact, everything we know about these states of consciousness is hearsay. How does one describe the taste of water? Have you tried even, what does that taste like? You can't. I can't. And so, how does one describe something as intimate as awakening, as seeing a union, as falling in love? And not necessarily with an object, but just falling in love with this moment, where this moment is enough. Suzuki Roshi says that, I love this, as it starts to poke holes in the theories here. We say he attained enlightenment, but it may be said better that he completely forgot everything. He had nothing on his mind in that moment. I love that. He forgot everything. No past, no future, no religions, just this moment of breath, the dog rattling the collar, birds in flight, traffic going by, the simplicity of it all. And how easy it is to miss the ordinary. Because we're searching, at least I was searching for that moment where I knew that I am enlightened now. And I want validation for that. So I want an experience that's so wild and fabulous that I have arrived. How naive that is. Adyashanti talks about enlightenment coming kind of like the heat from a register in the floor. You walk into a cold room, and you turn the heat up, and you don't really feel what's happening, except all of a sudden you get to the point where, oh, this is comfortable. I'm not cold anymore. I'm just comfortable. And awakening comes, I think, more like that. More like the gentleness of a breeze, where all of a sudden there was no sparks of lightning. It's like, oh, I get it. This is it. And if you think about every incredible moment you have, and it could be drug-induced, it could be relational, it could be sunsets, it could be the cessation of pain, and all of a sudden there's this flood of gratitude. And we've had these peak moments, and we love those peak moments. But after the peak moments, where are we? We're left in our room. We're left right back exactly where we were before. Perhaps changed, perhaps more grateful. So is it really the peak experiences, or is it found in everyday life right here in this room? And if we can't find it here, we can't find it in the past, and we can't find it in the future. So what is this trance where we keep searching for something and it's right before us? And that's what the trance is about. The trance is waking up to where there is no longer any search. The search is over. Not that you've found anything, but you've unfound what you thought you were looking for. Joko Beck was a Zen teacher in upstate New York. And she says, enlightenment is not something you achieve. It is the absence of something. What she's talking about is the absence of your mind being in the way. That when the mind just quiets down, you can see what's before you very clearly. She said, all your life you have been going forward after something, pursuing some goal. Enlightenment is dropping all that effort. Effort. Because we effort to find some place, something we can grasp and to hold on to. We can achieve. And we haven't even noticed who's achieving that. This is the mind trying to achieve something that it's not capable of achieving. That's not its job. I like to think of it as a pond. And if you imagine a pond is a container. It's this, the fish can move through it. The pond doesn't care. Leaves can fall on it, doesn't matter. Waves can come and go. There can be activity on the bottom. All of this activity is going on in the pond. The pond doesn't care. The pond is not attached to the fish coming and going or the waves or any of that. It is the silent witness to all of it. The comings and goings of the seasons, everything in the pond from the outside looks like it changes, but the pond is still the pond. Another way of looking at it would be a movie screen. You walk into a movie, and if it's a good movie, it's like, wow, overwhelming, and sit down in the chair and let's go. And we don't see the movie screen. The movie screen is the space where it all happens. And at the end of the movie, and the lights come up, and we see the screen and go, wow, it all happened like that. It seems so real. And this is the story of our life. It's the movie screen. And we think we're the movie. But we're actually, and we are the movie. And we're having those experiences. But we're also the screen. And when we break the trance, we know that the movies come and go, but the screen always is there. The screen of awareness, like the pond, is always there. On the spiritual path, I think some of the most important words on the spiritual path are, I don't know. And when we give up trying to know, trying to hold on to something, trying to figure it out, trying to get the right answer. Oh, and I love right answers. Yes, teacher, call on me. I've got the right answer. I may have an answer for today, but I am not sure for tomorrow. And see, what do we really know for certain? And if we really slow it down and look inside, how do I know that I am me? See, that's a great question. You wake up in the morning, how do you know it's you? And we go to the mind, but what about the body? Can we feel the body? Does the body inform us? The sensations of the body, there's light. I can feel something stirring. Consciousness is coming. I can feel, I ache. Oh man, I got to get up and I got to pee. Oh man. This sounds and this feels very familiar. Oh, it's got to be me. It's a familiar pattern of sensations. The trance is that I think that I'm doing it, that I'm in control of this life, that in some ways I am separate from gravity and from the changing of the stars and from all of the energetics of the people around me, all of the stressors that hit the body. When the trance is seen for what it is, we start to go, oh, okay, I'm going to have tough days, really tough days, and I'm going to have really good days. And I can try to make room for all of it. And perhaps that's the best we can do. I think we can do one more thing, though, is to invite more good days. And maybe say, you can slow down on some of the harsher days, but it's those harsher days that have taught us the most. We're coming back around to our dependency on thought. When you catch yourself thinking, in that moment, can you stop and feel in to what else is happening? To feel in to what else is happening. So you're using a different part of your being. You're paying attention to a different part of your being. I'm wearing the shirt for a reason here. This is a samurai. And in feudal Japan, Bodhidharma was the crazy, crazy Zen monk that was supposedly brought Zen, or the founder of Zen, brought Buddhism from China, initially from India, over to Japan. He had this huge staff, boom, boom, bushy eyebrows. You'll see pictures where he's just wild, almost like a demon appearance. In this folklore, he was fierce, fierce. And there was a samurai like Bob here, and Bob wanted to know peace. He was a fearless warrior into so many battles, highly revered. Yet this is something that had eluded him, and it was hard for him to sleep, to really fall into a sleep, to let go. And so he decided to go to Bodhidharma, who was one of the most feared, in a way, characters around. So he shows up, and Bodhidharma dismisses him. Get out of here. And it really pisses off the samurai because nobody talks to him that way at all. And so the samurai comes back the second time and says, please, I beg you, I need to know peace. You're my last resort. Okay, if you must. But you're going to have to meet me up on the mountain where the bamboo forest is. You know the place? Yes, I do. Okay, meet me up there 4 a.m. as the moon is setting. And by the way, bring your mind. Bring my mind? Yes, bring your mind. Well, the samurai was now not only puzzled, but frightened. One of the first times he had been frightened. He didn't know what that meant. He didn't know how this was going to affect him. This man looks wild, has this huge stick. He could be killed. He's going to meet him up in the mountains in the middle of the night in the dark? Come on. Why would I want to do that? But at the same time, there was something within him that says, I have to do this. And if I die, so be it. I have to know. And so he traveled up, and of course he couldn't sleep, and he was being up on the mountain, and the moon rose, and it was beautiful up there in the swaying of the bamboo. But all he could do was to think about his mind. The mind was just chattering away. He was missing all of the beauty of that. And he was listening to the mind chatter and chatter and chatter, and he was becoming more upset and more agitated. And then he hears the stick coming up on the path. Boom, boom, boom. And he goes, oh man, he's coming. I'm caught. What am I going to do? And so Bodhidharma comes up and says, I see you've come. Bring me your mind. But I don't know. I've been looking. I can't find it. Go inside and find me your mind. Just do it now before I lose my patience. And so Bodhidharma is frightened, more frightened than he's ever been in any battle. This is more than just losing his life. This is losing something even more precious. His soul identity, the way the concepts of the world work, all of this. He has no idea what's going on, and he is lost. And at the same time, he is now wide open, and he goes inside and looks. And the first thing he sees is nothing. There's nothing there. And this frightens him even more, and he becomes more anxious, and he keeps looking. And there's still nothing there. He can't find a thing. This isn't peaceful. This is terrifying. What am I going to do? I cannot find the answer. What's going on? And after an hour, almost 2 hours of just searching, he just gives up and stops and says, so be it. Just, it's over. I can't find it. I have done my best. And as he lets go, something happens, as you can imagine. When you've held your fist for that long and you let it go, there is such a relief. And he felt this amazing relief, and at the same time, there was the space to actually receive the night. And the night then became alive like it had never been before for him. And with the first light of the dawn, and the birds started to chirp, and the insects came out, and the wind in the bamboo and the rustling of the leaves, everything was so alive. He had never felt this aliveness before. And as he opened his eyes, he looked at Bodhidharma, who had this beautiful grin and just showering love on him. And there was nothing to be said, because he knew that the samurai also knew that something had happened in his sincere look to try to find the source, that he found what the source truly was. And that was the breaking of the trance. And as the samurai got up, he thanked him and said, "You've put my mind to rest." He bowed and walked off. And I love this story because the mind is not, it's a barrier, but it's not the problem. The problem is our consistent dependency on simply listening to our thinking. Can we feel into the moment? And I know all of you have. All of you have been lost in music, lost in a sunset, lost in a bird as it flies by for a moment. And then the thought will come, oh, wasn't that cool? And so it's not about breaking the trance once. It's not about enlightenment once. It's not a one-time deal. It's again and again and again and again and again and again and again, beginning again freshly. I don't know of any person who people claim are enlightened would say that they're in a constant state of anything. It's always changing. And so I guess it's really up to us. What's important to us? Is it important to know peace? Is it important to know connection and love? If I touch the part of me where I know love, it's not here. It's somewhere a bodily experience. And that should be the clue. Where do I look for all of this? Where do I look for what I really am wanting, what my heart wants? I'm going to leave you with this affirmation. Today, I vow to stay curious, with this curiosity of life as it is, not needing to know any answers in advance, trusting that whatever I need to know will come. I am grateful for this, and I let it be, and so it is.